Ross Madden here, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me. Today we are decoding the Trump tweets. This was a challenge put out by Betsy and Thomas, that would be Douglas Gabriel and Tyler Gabriel of American Intelligence Media. They said that they were decoding the Trump tweets better than Fox News, better than anybody in the entire world. And they challenged anybody to do it better than them. And so I'm going to go ahead and give my best shot. So this morning at 4:35 a.m., Trump put his first tweet out. This is June 4th, by the way. This is my 500th day in office, and we have accomplished a lot. Many believe more than any president in his first 500 days. Massive tax and regulation cuts, military and vets, lower crime and illegal immigration, stronger borders, judgeships, best economy and jobs ever, and much more. And this was a two-parter, so at 5:18 he continues with ... We had repeal and replace done, and the saving to our country of $1 trillion, except for one person. But it is getting done anyway. Individual mandate is gone and great. Less expensive plans will be announced this month. Drug prices coming down and right to try. So what is Donald Trump saying with these secret T-drops? Our man in the White House, our insider in the White House, is saying our economy is doing great. We are booming. We're about to have more drug sales. We're about to have we've got better jobs, a better economy, and it's all because of my tax cuts and the regulation cuts, and the military is doing better. They're being better funded for the first time, and the crime's coming down because the illegal immigration's decreasing. Basically, he's saying America is doing great. And why is he saying this? America is doing great, great, great. When we're doing pretty well, but he's really pushing how well America is doing. And this is because he's about to sit down at the negotiation table. And we know this is why he's doing this. Well, actually, Scott Adams makes a great point. Scott Adams tweeted, pundits are asking why President Trump is starting trade disputes when the economy is doing so well. Answer, : that's the best time to do them. Lowest short-term costs, pain, and substantial long-term upside potential. It's also the time when your stack of chips looks the biggest and your opponent's stack of chips looks the smallest. You can bully people out of negotiations, and you can get extra things when you have the bully stack. It's called bluffing. And what it is a great negotiation tactic. And so Donald Trump is saying two things with this tweet. One, United States is ready to negotiate. We are ready to negotiate. And number two, this is how you work hard. You wake up at 4:30 in the morning and you do your damnedest to do the best for your country and your job and your business that you can, even if it means you have to fudge it a little bit. Even if America is doing okay or good and he wants to say we're doing great and he wants to push us forward. That's how you work hard for your country. That's how you work hard for your business. And Donald Trump is showing you how to be a hard worker. Then Donald Trump brings up the repeal and replace, which was, you could argue, a big failure on his part, and he blames it squarely on John McCain. He says, except for one person, but it's getting done anyway. The individual mandate is gone and great. Less expensive plans will be announced. So he calls out the one individual, which is John McCain, but 3 Republicans and actually 51 senators voted that down. And I will leave the list right here. I'll go ahead and move myself. These senators all voted down the repeal and replace. And so if your health care is more expensive this year than it was last year, these are the people that are pretty happy with the way healthcare is and the way healthcare is going. Health insurance, sorry, if your health insurance has gotten more expensive. They think that it's fine. They think that health insurance is good, and that Barack Obama's plan, which has been objectively increasing prices across the board for people in the lower to middle class, the middle class, the upper middle class, and the upper class. Everyone's experiencing more expensive plans, and we're having trouble paying for it. It's like almost half of rent to pay for your health insurance, especially if you have if you're prescribed medication, which like a third to half of Americans are prescribed daily medication. If that's you can't afford not to be on this stuff. So Trump then is attacked widely on social media, as Scott Adams pointed out. Not on social media, but on the media, the pundits. Donald Trump goes ahead and says, this is, quote, "This is the best time ever," in all caps, "to look for a job. James Freeman of Wall Street Journal." That's WSJ. Little decode for you. QAnon BS. Anyway, he's just reinforcing the fact that the United States is looking great, and he's going to do that over and over and over again throughout the day. He's going to push his trade agenda forward, because that's what he's working on. That's what he's doing for America today. And so at 5:41, he tweets, "China already charges a tax of 16% on soybeans. Canada has all sorts of trade barriers and on our agricultural products, not acceptable." The 16% on our soybeans is interesting. What do we do to our soybeans? We don't subsidize them, do we? Oh, yes, we do. We subsidize them big time. And so when we subsidize a crop and then try to dump it on other countries like China, they have every right. Their farmers need protection from our subsidized crops, our mass production of soybeans. So it makes perfect sense for them to put up a trade barrier or a tax on our subsidized goods. And as for Canada, I think they're aware that Monsanto is pretty much in charge of a large percentage of our agricultural products, and our agricultural exports have a lot of Monsanto glyphosate all over them. Roundup glyphosate is contaminating our crops. And so why would they not put trade restrictions on our agricultural products? It makes perfect sense to me. Then at 5:43, Trump says, "The U.S. has made such bad trade deals over so many years that we can only win." At 6:47, he says, Farmers have not been doing well for 15 years. Mexico, Canada, China, and others have treated them unfairly. By the time I finish trade talks, that will change. Big trade barriers against U.S. farmers and other businesses will finally be broken. Massive trade deficits no longer. And I'm going to skip some more tweets just because I've got one more trade-related tweet at 1:42 p.m. In many ways, this is the greatest economy in the history of America. The best time ever to look for a job. And so that is Donald Trump's series of tweets pushing for trade, pushing the America is great. America is doing great. The dollar's doing great. Our economy is strong as a bull. And I think it's kind of a farce. I think that our economy looks good on paper, but it is really supported by a lot of debt, which China supports. China used to buy, now they no longer buy. China's now looking to possibly do a gold-backed currency, maybe a product-backed currency with Russia. That would be a massive blow to the dollar, because a fiat currency compared to a gold-backed currency, it's pretty clear what the big banks are going to want to hold. What they feel they can get their value out of long term. So I really think Donald Trump is, he's going all in for America, and I like that. Whether he's right or not, that's to be argued out on Twitter. Trump had 2 more tweets today that were related to the DOJ, FBI, CIA, MI6 witch hunt into his campaign. At 5:35 a.m., Donald Trump tweeted, "As has been stated by numerous legal scholars, I have the absolute right to pardon myself. But why would I do that when I have done nothing wrong?" In the meantime, the never-ending witch hunt led by 13 angry and conflicted Democrats and others continues into the midterms. So there's your first reason why you would pardon yourself, because this has gone on long enough. We're about to have our next election and you're still worried about the last election. Move on. And this is the 13 angry Democrats, that's referring to the very special counsel, Robert Mueller's appointed, partisan group of lawyers. And these are bully lawyers. We always talk about how we hate lawyers, how they're liars. Guys, these are the best lawyers in the country. And they run the DOJ, they run the FBI. That's James Comey, that's Robert Mueller, that's Loretta Lynch. These are all, we can even say Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, these big lawyer couples, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, have just been running our country straight into the dirt for the last, 20, 30 years. So then Donald Trump says, and others. Who's he talking about? I alluded to it earlier. It's CIA. This is MI6. This is the FBI, this is the DOJ, and the Obama White House all working in cahoots in order to frame President Trump and exonerate Hillary Clinton, as Joe DeGeneva points out rightly all the time on Fox News. And who's really behind this? Is it Obama? Is it British intelligence? I would point you to American intelligence media. They do a great job of pointing out that the British intelligence is actually behind this, and they do the best job of anyone on YouTube of going into the names, naming the names, listing the crimes, and everyone should be watching their Trump decodes, which is what I'm doing right now. They probably outdo me, and they will go ahead and tear these others a new butthole in a minute, I'm certain. I can't wait to hear it. This is coming in at 7:01. Trump tweeted, "The appointment of the special counsel is totally unconstitutional," in all caps. "Despite that, we play the game because I, unlike the Democrats, have done nothing wrong." And he is absolutely right. It is unconstitutional. These unelected judges and lawyers, unelected, nobody elected them, 0 people elected them, have been trying to remove a duly elected president elected by 60 million plus American citizens. Who is going to win this fight? 60 million Americans or 0? Who is really supporting Donald Trump? 60 million Americans. Who is really supporting Robert Mueller? Goose egg. That's going to be it for the Donald Trump decodes. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Truth of Think Tank. Ross Madden signing off. Have a great, great day, everybody.